Good morning. This is December the 27th, Friday, 2024. We are in BBIS first semester compulsory English class. We started reading Catherine Lim's story paper in yesterday's class. And we tried to connect some lessons together. For example, we recalled reading the essay Computers and the Pursuit of Happiness, where David Galanter raised the question, what brings us happiness? And Galanter answered that it's people that bring us happiness, not technology. This is very true in my personal experience, particularly how mobile phones have created a big distance among people in society. Then we read the story Langada Ko Sathi, where we saw how the cripple gets hefty sum of money as a beggar and how he buys sweet, delicious dishes, feeds his dog, feeds himself, and feels extremely happy. And then we asked a question, what brought happiness to the cripple? Primary answer was delicious food. But then we asked the question, what brought the food? Then the answer was the money that was donated to him by the passers-by at Chaurasta Chowk. And we said that it's money that brings happiness to his countenance, because he has money, money brings independence, right? And then we came to Catherine Lim's story paper, and we said this story is also about money. This story is about transitory nature of material prosperity. The theme of this story is this one. Transitory means something that can be lost any moment. Momentary, temporary. Material prosperity is very temporary, very uncertain. You do not know when you can come in the street. The difference between Karodpati and Rodpati is of only one letter. Remove Ka, and from Karodpati we become Rodpati. Street man. Right. That's one theme. Transitory nature of material prosperity. One lesson that I learned reading this story, and which my father used to teach me from my childhood, is contentment is what brings true joy in life. Contentment. I remember when I used to sit for eating food, my father was the cook mostly, because my mother was not with us often. So my father would cook, and he would serve food for me. And what my habit was, I would often ask a lot of rice and I would leave without finishing. And my father would complain, you shouldn't throw food. You should ask only what you can eat. And one day, when I was expressing my dissatisfaction about things, my father spoke a phrase. This was, he said, Santosam paramam sukham. Maybe it's wrong. I should put a drop here. Santosam. Santosa means being content with what you have. Being happy with what you have and relishing it, enjoying it. Actually, sometimes I feel happiness is a state of mind. There is an essay in second semester English course by Priscilla Long. You will read that in second semester. And the title of the essay is Happiness. In that essay, Priscilla Long discusses the question, what is happiness? And at one point, Priscilla says, happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is more inner. It's not outer. If you find happiness in things outside, in the material world, you can never be happy. You can never be. But if you start finding happiness within you, you can be truly happy. Right? This is what I learned. I read this story this morning again between 3 to 5:30. And I advised my son to read it. He said, mail me, I'll read. And I just mailed the copy. And I asked, read and tell me what you learned. Because whenever I find something good, I ask my son to read it. As a father, I want him to read good things, right? So do I want you to read good things. Okay, let's move ahead. We were here in the previous class. What's wrong with this house we are staying in? Tesun's mother says. As I read this line, I remember my parents' house in the village and my house in the city. My house here has 24 rooms. It is 5-story building. It has most of the luxuries. My father's house in the village is old, traditional, very small. It doesn't have most of the luxuries. My mother has to, scrub the floor every morning with water. And she, I don't know the English word for that. कपडालाई माटोमा भिजाएर पुस्नुहुन्छ अनि लिप्नुहुन्छ. And sometimes when I go home, then the bed I get to sleep in is not wide enough. And I complain my parents. I say, यति सानो खाट छ बुवा सुत्नै पुग्दैन, अलि ठुलो राख्न मिल्दैन? We have bigger beds, but they are the smaller one. At my home here in Kathmandu, I have a king-size bed. I paid 60,000. And the cost of the bed at my home is not even 5,000. But I get better sleep in that 5,000 bed at home. I don't get better sleep in this 60,000 bed. There are reasons. Because when I am at home, I'm with my parents. So I feel happy. Though the bed is not comfortable, but I have sound sleep. Because I can see my parents around. That's happiness. Look, my bed doesn't give me happiness here. She asked petulantly, aren't we all comfortable in it? So do you see Tesun's mother in this story, one can argue, represents practical attitude, realist attitude, in a sense I'll say spiritual attitude. I mean, Tesun's mother's philosophy is be happy with what you have. Tesun's mother's philosophy seems to be content in what you have, your possessions. But Tesun is different. So it's like Tesun's mother is like me, and Tesun is like you. Right? Two generations, younger and older. Not as long as you have your horrid ancestral altars. See the generation gap? See the disrespect youths have to the traditions? Tesun's mother has altars scattered all around the house. Altars are, ancestral altars are the items, goods, dolls or statues or anything that have been transferred to you from your past ancestors. And they represent them. So you keep them in a holy corner in the house and you worship them. You look at them with respect. In every house we have such items which have been transferred to you from your parents. They may be idols of the gods and goddesses. They may be other items of worship, right? And Tesun doesn't like them. You shouldn't do that, no. I don't like Tesun at this line. I don't like Tesun. I don't like Tesun's attitude. But I understand that Tesun represents your generation, the youths. Look, horrid. He calls the altars horrid, unpleasant objects. What I learned reading this line, you should respect your family members. You should respect their ways of life. Just as you have your way of life, understand that other people also have their ways of life, right? And you should never think that your philosophy of life is good and their philosophy of life is bad. No, you shouldn't. If I have to criticize Tesun, I will say, Tesun as a human being has this weakness. What weakness? Tesun cannot accommodate with others. This is Tesun's weakness. This should not be your weakness. That's why Tesun fails. Tesun as a character has this weakness. He can't accommodate with difficulties. Now Tesun's mother has ancestral altars and Tesun feels uncomfortable. He can't accommodate, he can't adjust. That's a weakness. You shouldn't have this thing. All over the place. And your grotesque sense of color. Imagine painting the kitchen wall bright pink. Now look, even Tesun doesn't like his mother's color choice. Right? But Yi Lian was tactful enough to keep the remarks to herself. Look, the mother's character. The mother is quite considerate. Tesun is inconsiderate. You are considerate if you consider how your behavior impacts other people. You are sensitive to other people. You are considerate. You take care of what you speak. You take care of how you behave because you are very careful about not hurting other people. So Tesun's mother is considerate. Tesun is inconsiderate. You should not be inconsiderate. You should be considerate if you want to grow in life. Being considerate means being sensitive about how my behavior can affect people around me and trying your best not to make people feel bad about your behavior. Look, imagine, but Elian was tactful enough to keep remarks to herself. She's a mother. Look, mothers are like earth. They bear everything. They never complain. Or to make them only to her sister, or to make them only to her sister, ENG. Oh, did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Elian is Tesun's mother or Tesun's wife? Someone check. Wife? Wife? I made a mistake, right? Sorry, let me correct. I made a mistake. But Elian was tactful enough to keep the remarks to herself. Okay. Or to make them only to her sister, ENG. Tactful is a remarkable word. It's good at dealing with others. Sorry for this error I made. Otherwise, they were sure to reach the old lady. Look how there's a question. When the writer, Catherine Lim, or the narrator of the story, refers to the mother as old lady, this shows the tone of the writer, attitude, and this is sarcastic tone. Tone is a very difficult topic in reading. If you can recognize tone, you are a very good reader. Only intelligent readers can recognize tone in reading. Novice readers don't understand tone. And it requires a long reading to acquire this ability to understand tone. Tone is the attitude expressed by the narrator or writer towards the subject or character. For example, when the narrator refers to the mother as old lady, he could write the mother. He could write the mother. He could write mom. If there was the word mom, if he said reach mom, then we'll understand the narrator loves the lady. That's why he calls mom. If he called mother, then the narrator is indifferent to the lady. But he calls the old lady Budi. When you call the mother as Budi, this shows your attitude. You don't like her. You are sarcastic. And there would be no end to her sharp tongue. Look, the remark, the narrator. The narrator doesn't like the lady, the mother. He complains. Otherwise, they were sure to reach the old lady and there would be no end to her. Can someone tell me? What does the pronoun sharp refer here? Someone tell me. Come on. Can someone tell me? Oh. Someone help me. Does the pronoun her refer to the old lady here? Or does it refer to Elian? Someone tell me. Tell me. I'm not clear. So I need your help. Let's read once again. But Elian was tactful enough to keep the remarks to herself or to make them only to her sister ENG. Otherwise, they means both of them, the sisters, were sure to reach the old lady. Oh no. No. They means Look how difficult reading is. They means the remarks. They means the remarks. No, they means the remarks. Look how reading is. Reading is very tricky. Sometimes reading is like walking through bushes for the first time. And you don't know which way to go. You don't know which way to go. Right? They were sure to reach the old lady. And if the remarks reached her, there would be no end to her sharp tongue. Look. They say that the old lady has a sharp tongue. The old lady will say a lot of critical things, bad remarks. So we find that the narrator has negative attitude about the mother. But I sympathize the mother in this story. When I finish reading the story, I praise the mother for her wisdom, for her patience, for her foresightedness. The mother is a very good lady. Not as long as you have your horrid... the house, the dream house. The dream. And this is ironical. What is ironical? Irony is when you say something and it makes opposite meaning. Why I say the dream house is irony? Because he fails to achieve it. It remains his dream till he dies. Right? It would be a far cry from the little terrace house. Look, the narrator's attitude. The narrator describes the mother's house as little terrace house, in which they were all staying now, and Tesun and Elian talked endlessly about this house. And it grew, wait a minute, no. About it means the dream house. They talked about dream house and it grew magnificently in their imagination. I understand these lines pretty well. Because 21 years before, my parents bought a piece of land for me here in Balaju. Then my wife began to constantly poke me. Ghar banaune hoina, ghar banaune hoina, ghar banaune hoina, day and night. She won't let me sleep. Eating, drinking, sleeping, waking, going to college, coming back. Constantly she will say only one thing. Aren't we going to make a house? Because we were living in a rented room in one of relatives' house. And she said, how long shall we stay in this congested room? Now we have our own plot. Then I said, I don't have even 10,000 rupees. How can I make a house? Then one idea came. I'll tell a story to make you support this point. Because I want to relate my life with this story because I'm Tesun. Then I had a job and my school had deducted some money from my salary and deposited in Provident Fund. And then I went to ask how much money is there. And I found that it has 1,20,000. Then I said, okay, I'll resign my permanent job to get that money. Look my decision. I was gambling. I decided to quit permanent job. The monthly salary was 16,000 to get 120,000 rupees at one sum. I resigned. I went to Sanchakos. I got the money. Now I had 120,000 rupees and I was dreaming of beginning to make a house. Can you imagine? Then I began to think how to do. All of a sudden, my brother, my distant brother, my mother's sister's son, he used to live in Denmark, I guess, back then. He makes me a call and says, Dai, I will send you 4,500 euros right now, and you can pay me whenever you are able to return. I said, okay, send. He sent. I remember I went to Ghantagar, one money exchange counter, what do you call, remittance counter. And to my surprise, on the counter, the cashier was the girl whom I had taught in class 10 years before. Divakar sir, हजुर केलाई आइसिएको? I said, पैसा आछ रे त्यही भएर आएको. And I showed the number. They sent something number. Then she counted the money. It was 4,500 euro was 4,50,000 Nepali. 1,000 was 1 lakh. And then 4,50,000 plus 1,20,000. I had 5,70,000 now. And with 5,70,000, I went to buy Himal iron and I started making the house. And with that money, I could construct 2 stories in 1,000 square feet. With just 5,70,000, you won't believe me, I constructed 1,000 square feet with 14 pillar, 2 story, but I could not do finishing, I had no money. All money gone. Then I began to, now I have no money. Then someone gave me an idea. I had no idea. One of my said, okay, you go to bank and you put your house as a collateral and the bank would give you money. Then NICICI Bank advertised, Kamilako pani ghar huncha, I remember, with the picture, ants collecting things. Manseko kina hudaina? 6.99%. And I went. And NIC Bank, I asked for 8 lakh rupees. NIC Bank gave me 13 lakh rupees. Because they had a lot of money, they wanted customers. I didn't realize this thing. And then with that 13 lakh, I constructed 4 stories. But that was not enough for finishing. And you know what I did? I will collect all my salary. In those days, I taught 14 classes every day. I worked 12 hours continuously. I didn't eat my breakfast. Even during breakfast time, I took a class for money. I ate basi khana, chiso khana, because I didn't have time to eat on time. And I put all the money in house. I earned 70,000 per month as my salary. And every 3 months, I would have 2 lakh and I would make 1 dalan. I'm telling my story of the dream house, how I made. But I was not like Tesun. I never gambled. I never went for share. I never had a desire to have millions overnight. I said, मेहनत गर्छु, काम गर्छु, पढाउँछु, तलबले खर्च गर्दिन, खादिन, दुःख गर्छु, सँगाल्छु, खाजा पनि खादिन, चिया पनि खादिन, मोमो खादिन, बाहिर घरबार केही पनि खादिन, घरको खाना खान्छु, and I made. Now I believe, if you're really hardworking, I'm an example. You can achieve things. But I achieved my house and I had to pay a price. The year I completed my house, I became a diabetic because of the stress, right? Okay, so I said, I'll tell my story because I'm telling you, I am Tesun, right? In your classroom. Here we go. This dream house of theirs with its timbered ceiling. I had such dream. Paneled walls, sunken circular room. Sunken circular room. See his dream. Not rooms like this. Square. Circular. And sunken means you have to step down to get into the room. It's like you go down, the floor is below. That was Tesun's dream. That's why this is a dream house. It's not a house like anybody's house. Right? which was to be carpeted in rich amber, that desire. Even Tesun had the dream for color of carpet. It was no empty dream, for there was much money in the bank already. $40,000 Tesun had in the bank, right? I had 120,000 only, right? Interesting. $40,000 had been saved. The house would cost many times that. But Tesun and Elian, with their good salaries, would be able to manage very well, they thought. Once they took care of the down payment from the bank, they would be able to pay back monthly over a period of 10 years, 15 years, 20. I had taken the loan for 15 years, but I paid back in 5 years. I paid in 5. And bank took fine. He said, 15 वर्षको लोन 5 वर्षमा तिर्नुहुन्छ, फाइन तिर्नुपर्छ. I said, how much? The bank took me 81,000 as fine. पैसा पनि तिरे, ब्याज पनि तिरे, अनि अगाडि तिरे भएर फाइन पनि तिरे. कति तिरे? एनआइसी ब्याङ्कले कति फाइन लियो मसँग? 81,000 फाइन लियो. आमामा कस्तो लुटा. ब्याङ्कले कसरी लुट्छ हेर्नुहोस् त. ब्याज पनि लियो कति? 14% ले ब्याज लियो. सुरुमा 6.9 दियो, पछि 3 महिना ब्याज बढाउने. फोन गर्दै ब्याज बढाउँदै 14 पुऱ्यायो. अनि तिर्न गएको त फाइन तिर्नुपर्छ भन्छ. फाइन पनि तिरे मैले. Right? So I have made a promise. I'll never go back to banks again for loan. No, not in life. म जाँदिन अब ब्याङ्कमा. Because I know what banks do. They cheat you. They deceive you. Right? सुरुमा चाहिँ 6% लोन दिएर फसाउने मान्छेलाई अनि 6 महिनामा ब्याज बढाउँदै लाने कहाँ पुर्याउने? 14, 15, 16 पुर्याउने. I had bad experience. Thank God my house was not auctioned. Thank God my house was not auctioned. But I had always this fear that I won't be able to pay the loan and my house will be auctioned by the bank. Okay. 15. What did it matter how long it took, as long as the dream house was theirs? It had become the symbol of the peak of earthly achievement. See, what do you learn here? Tesun goes for earthly achievement. The lesson I learned here, reading this line, is we should not go for earthly pleasure. We should not go for carnal pleasure. We should go for spiritual pleasure. Look, Langada ko sathi, Langada, he can sleep anywhere, at the porch of the temple also. Compare Langada and Tesun. Earthly achievement, materialism, and all of Tesun's energies and devotion were directed towards its realization. Tesun was giving his all energy. Like me, I told you, when I took loan from the bank, I decided to teach 14 periods a day. I would begin class at 6:50 in the morning. Can you believe? And my last class was 6 in the evening. In between these 12 hours, I had 2 breaks, each 15 minutes. One was between 8 and 8:15. I'll run to canteen and gobble chana. Gobble, not eat, gobble. Chuto khane. Time chaina. Another break I had between 12:45 and 1. My daughter would bring the tiffin from home at 10. By 12, it would be cold enough, and I will gobble again. I didn't know I was eating. I would stuff my stomach, not eat, because arko class cha. Padhaunu paryo, paisa kamaunu paryo, ghar banaunu paryo. I was giving all my energies, and I was giving my whole soul, like Tesun. His mother said, "You are a show-off." Look, the mother's attitude now. What does show-off means? to boast or brag about your possessions. What's so grand about marble flooring? Why do you need marble? And a swimming pool. We need swimming pool at home. Son, you don't need, she said. But Tessun wanted a swimming pool. Why don't you put your money to better use? I learned a lesson. If I had 40,000, now I say, I won't make a house. I will invest it as an entrepreneur. And I'll do a business. Because making a house is the most unproductive investment one can do. घरमा गरिने लगानी एकदमै अनप्रोडक्टिभ, त्यसलाई केही पनि दिँदैन। तपाईसँग घरमा आउने पैसा छ भने के गर्नुपर्छ? भाडामा बस्नुहोस् फ्ल्याट लिएर, घरमा आउने पैसाले बिजनेस सुरु गर्नुहोस् र कमाउनुहोस्। त्यो बुद्धि पहिला आएन, अहिले आयो। अहिले आएर के गर्ने? राइट भन्ने मात्रै बुद्धि आउँदैन बेलामा। बुद्धिको विशेषता के हो? जहिले पनि काम बिग्रेपछि आउँछ। किनकि बुद्धि कम्स फ्रम एक्सपिरियन्स। बुद्धि कम्स फ्रम एक्सपिरियन्स। दुःख नबासा बुद्धि आउँदैन के? बुद्धि कहिले पनि दुःख नबासा आउँदैन। कुनै काम बिगार्यो भने बल्ल बुद्धि आउँछ। ला भन्ने हुन्छ नि। You never learn unless you make a mistake. So buddhi comes only after the mistake, right? But the 40,000 grew steadily, and after Tessun and Yilian had put in every cent of their annual houses, it grew to 48,000. While you're reading this story, you can recall Michael Ventura's essay, Someone is Stealing Your Life, and you can imagine Tessun as a worker in Singapore, because Tessun and his wife are workers. And what Ventura says, that you can never make your house by being an employee, is very true here. Look here. And you should link lessons as you read. You should connect all the lessons in your curriculum, because the whole curriculum might be giving one message, big message. And husband and wife smiled at the smooth way their plans were going. Up to here, now look, I told you, every narrative has this structure. This structure, right? Up to here, good things are happening. Good things are happening. Up to here, up to this paragraph. Now from this paragraph, there will be a turn in the story. There will be a conflict in the story now. Read what is conflict. Up to here, the story is moving smoothly, right? The plot is moving smoothly. Nothing is bad in their life. Now read. It was a time of growing interest in the stock market. This is the first time the word is mentioned here. Now, the conflict. What conflict? The conflict is brought by the stock market. You know, they were thinking of going to bank and taking loan and making a house, right? Now look, what is tragedy? Tragedy is you are going this way. Tragedy is unknowingly, innocently, you take this turn. You should have gone straight, but you mistakenly took this turn. And there was a lion waiting for you. And the lion killed you. If you have gone this way, you would be alive. Tragedy is a defect in your character which makes you take a wrong decision. So when Tessun decides to go for share, that is where the tragedy begins. That is where the things start getting bad. What do you learn? What do you learn? You are BBIS students. You will do management. Management is about all decisions. Management is all about decisions. Right? If your decisions are not well thought, you fail. If your decisions are well calculated, you succeed. What do I learn? Always take well calculated decisions. Sleepy feel. Always take well calculated decisions. Think 100 times before you take a decision. Calculate all sides, then take decision. Never take any decision in a hurry. A decision taken without proper calculation will most likely bring failure. Okay? This is what I learned reading this line. The quotations for stocks and shares were climbing the charts, and the crowds in the rooms of the broking houses were growing perceptibly. Might we not do something about this? See this greed. See this greed. See this lure of money. See this lure of easy money. Lure of easy money. हिजो छोरालाई यो स्टोरी सेयर गर्दै थियो, उनले भन्यो, बा एउटा साथी थियो अमेरिका आएपछि, हामी रुम पार्टनर थियौँ पहिला, हजुरलाई थाहा छ, उसले बिटकोइनमा लगानी गरेको थियो, अनि त्यो उसको बिटकोइन चाहिँ मिलियन टाइम बढ्या थियो बुवा, अनि त्यो बेलामा सेल गराए भए उसँग $1 million भन्दा बढी हुन्थ्यो, अनि उसले चाहिँ अहिले केही चलाउँदिन, त्यो बिलियन हुन्छ, भएर बसेको त बुवा थाहा छ, अर्को 6 महिनामा त $300 भयो अरे के, मिलियन भएको डलर त $300 भएछ कि घटेर बिटकोइन। अनि उसले भन्यो के त्यो पनि टेसन जस्तै रहेछ बुवा भन्थ्यो कि हिजो, लोभ के होइन, कहाँ लगानी गराएछ बिटकोइनमा होइन, अमेरिकामा त गर्न मिल्छ, अलिगल होला, हामी कहाँ मिल्दैन, नेपालमा हुँदैन, गर्न लले प्रिभेन्ट गरेछ, तर मिलियन भएको चाहिँ $300 भयो अरे के। मैसँग भएको छ, एउटा सेयर हालिदिनु भएको थियो मेरो डक्टर सन इन लले, केमा मैले त जान्दिनँ, हालिदिनु मलाई थाहै छैन, 1,30,000 पुगेछ के, अनि बुवा बेच्थ्यौ भन्नुहुन्थ्यो, नबेच्नु त्यो 5 लाख पुग्ला नि भने, अहिले त जम्मा 30,000मा आएछ, अहिले 30,000 रहेछ, सोधेको अहिले 30 अरे, 1 लाख त हराएछ मेरो, उही बेला बेचे अब त 1 लाख आउँथ्यो नि त। सो वाट इज शेयर? शेयर इज टेकिङ राइट calculated decisions on time. Share is a game. Share is like playing chess, where every move has to be well calculated. Share is like playing chess. Every move either will kill your opponent or you will be killed. If you can't make chess moves, don't invest in share. And Tessun has no idea what is share. He listens to his wife. He listens to other people who have no experience. Tessun does not listen to the expert. But I have a thala story. There are expert people, they say, you know, he doesn't listen. Who does he listen to? His wife and other ladies and other women. It was a time of growing interest in the stock market. The quotations of the stocks and shares were climbing the charts, and the crowds in the rooms of the broking houses were growing perceptibly. Might we not do something about this? Elian said to her husband, do you know that Dr. Su, look what I was saying. Look Tessun's weakness. Look Elian's weakness. Look nature, human nature. Human nature. We are like that. We are like Tessun. We are like Elian. Why? Look what she says. Do you know Dr. Su bought Ruston banking share for $4, and today the shares are worth $7. What is happening here? You are seeing other people and you are blindly following them without thinking well. अरूले घोडा चढ्यो भनेर धुरी चढ्ने भन्छ कि नेपालीमा, एउटा विज्ञापन आउँछ कि, त्यो के को विज्ञापन बिर्सेँ, अपार्टमेन्टमा चाहिँ यता फ्ल्याट हुन्छ यता फ्ल्याट हुन्छ अनि यताको फ्ल्याटवालाले कार किन्छ अनि कार किनेपछि कार किनेको थाहा दिनलाई लड्डु लिएर उताको लड्डु लीजिए किसका कार खरिदा हमने भन्दै जान्छ कि गफ दिएर उताको लेडीले यताको लेडी बेलुका हस्बेन्ड आएपछि सुनो जी क्या हुआ अब कुछ करना पड़ेगा क्या हुआ वो देखो सामने वाले ने कार खरीद उनको लड्डू खिला दिया कुछ करना पड़ेगा सो अफ गर्नु पर्यो नि त अब आफूले दिनु पर्यो नि त त्यो क्या खरिदे चलो एक टिभी खरिदे टिभी किन्न जान्छ कि अनि यत्रो टिभी लिएर आउँछ ठुलो किन अगाडिकोलाई सान दिनलाई डोन्ट डु सच थिङ्स डोन्ट डु सच थिङ्स छिमेकीले कार किन्यो भएर चाहिँदैन चाहिएको टिभी किनिदिएर छिमेकीले देखाउने होइन कि अर्कालाई देखाउनलाई किन्ने होइन चाहिन्छ भने किन्ने हो कुनै पनि काम अरूलाई देखाउन गर्ने होइन हाम्रो बानी हुन्छ नि अर्कालाई देखाउनु गर्ने होइन भाडामा मार्बल कस्तो हाल्ने छिमेकीलाई देखाउन हाल्ने आमामा किचनमा फ्रिज कत्रो किन्ने छिमेकीको ठुलो किन्नुपर्छ जे कुरामा छिमेकी भन्दा अलिक ठुलो किन्नुपर्छ वी हेभ दिस नेचर वी आर जेलस राइट सो प्लिज डु नट बी जेलस अफ अदर पिपल jealousy but I'll say blind following the temptation look here Bible says there are 7 deadly sins I don't know all of them but I know some of them one of them is temptation अरूको चीज देखेर रियाल्चो आउनु that is one deadly sin it will destroy you temptation the temptation was great the rewards were almost immediate see Tesun goes for immediate reward you should look for long term reward never look for immediate reward always look for long term benefit $30,000 worth of NEB share became 55,000 almost overnight Tesun and Elian whooped, shouted with joy. Ahoo! 30,000, 50,000, paisa. Oh God, I can imagine if we were making it a play, right? Drama. This scene will be the most exciting scene in the bedroom. They'll be talking about $50,000, right? Oh God. They put their remaining 18,000 in Far East share. 3 days later, the shares were worth twice that much. It was not to be imagined that things could stop here. Tesun secured a loan from his bank and put, oh God, he took loan now. Oh God. He took loan to buy. Look, how I don't like Tesun now. I hate Tesun. You are gambling by borrowing money from the bank. You are killing yourself. This is suicide. You are gambling. Bank ko loan liyer jua khel raha cha ni. Share is gambling. From his bank and put 20,000 in OST share. This was a particularly lucky share. It shot up to 4 times in its value in 3 days. Within 10 days, Tesun had $1 million now. Look here. Oh, this is too much money. Cried Elian. बुढा के गर्ने यत्रो पैसाले अब त 10 वटा घर आउला छ Elian says in her ecstasy and she sat down with pencil and paper and found after a few minutes of calculation that they had made a cool 100,000 in few days. Now they had 100,000. Their 40,000 had become अब त चुपचाप सन्तोष हुनुपर्छ. Now look what happens. लोभले लाभ लाभले विलाप. There's a Nepali saying. I don't know the English saying for that. I wish I was born in England and I knew more English language, right? I could tell you the English version for this, lovely love. I don't know the English version for this, lovely love, lovely love. I don't know. And now there was to be no stopping. The newspapers were full of it. Everybody was talking about it. It was in the very air. There was plenty of money to be made in the stock exchange by those who had guts, those who had courage to gamble. Money to be made by the hour, by the minute. एक महिना अगाडि खाजा खान गइयो 3-4 जना मगै खाइयो होला मैले तिर्छु भने साथीले तिर्दिनु भने आफै तिर्नुभयो, होइन म तिर्छु भने। अनि अर्को साथीले तिर्दिनु न, उहाँले 15 लाख त कमाउनु भएको छ भर्खरै भन्नुभयो। के भयो भनेको त त्यो 1 महिना अगाडि 2 महिना जति भयो होला, सेयर भत्तै माथि गएको थियो कि हाम्रो एमालेको सरकार आएपछि यो पौडेल अर्थमन्त्री हुनुभयो नि, सेयर भत्तै माथि गएको रहेछ कि। अनि के गर्नुभएको छ उहाँले भन्दाखेरि 2 दिन कुरेर बेच्नु भएको छ। अनि उहाँले भन्नुभयो दिवाकर साहब मैले जस्ट 2 डेजमा 15 लाख बनाएँ भन्नुभयो कि। 2 दिन अगाडि बेचे भए 15 लाख लेस आउँदो रहेछ। अनि 2 दिन रिस्क लिएको रे के, घट्नै सक्थ्यो नि त। हेरौँ के भन्छ बढ्यो अरे के झट्टै, अनि बेचिहाल्नुभयो। अनि उहाँले बेचेपछि स्वात्तै घट्यो, फेरि बेचेपछि स्वात्तै घट्यो, बेचेपछि घट्यो। एन्ड ही मेड 15 लाख रुपिज। अनि मेरो मुखबाट पानी आएको लोभले मैले नै 5 लाख बनाउन सक्थेँ होला भन्ने भयो कि। आउँदैन, बुद्धि छैन, ढङ्ग छैन, कहाँ आउँछ त। अर्काको देखेर हुन्छ, हुँदैन नि, होइन। आँट चाहियो, लगानी गर्नु। मलाई धेरै लोभ जायो कि अरे 2 दिनमा 15 लाख, मलाई 5 लाख कमाउनु त 15 वर्ष लाग्छ त, राइट। 15 वर्ष लाग्ला होला, 5 वर्ष लाग्ला, अथवा 3 वर्ष लाग्ला, राइट। गट्स। सो सेयर इज रिस्क टेकिङ। बिगर द रिस्क, बिगर द गेन। Dr. Su was said, he laughingly dismissed it as a silly rumor. Dr. Su was said to have made $2 million already. If he sold all his shares now, he would be a millionaire twice over, Tae-soon said, right? And Yi Lian's sister, who had been urged with sisterly goodwill to come join the others make money, laughed happily to find that the shares she had bought for $4.20 on Tuesday had risen to $7.95 on Friday. She laughed and thanked Elian, who advised her not to sell yet. See, Elian said, don't sell. This is the crucial point. They should have sold. They should have sold. But they said, no, we want more. Loble lab. Now, body lab ko loble bilab. Now, this is the stage of lab. Now, they again have lobe. Now, this extra lobe will bring bilab. So, know your limit. Don't be too greedy. यही बेचा भए त 1 बिलियन त हुँदो रहेछ नि त. It was going further. It would hit the $10 mark by the next week, and Tae-soon both laughed and cursed. Now look here. See the complication. Now what happened? Cursed that he had failed to buy a share at $9. $10 भयो किन्नु पर्ने रहेछ, curse. Which a few days later had hit $17. Last week 97 पुग्यो. Elian said reproachfully, I thought I told you to buy, darling, and Tae-soon had beaten his forehead. किन्नु पर्ने रहेछ नि बुढी बेडरुममा बसेर हैन. See the drama. लोभ के को 9 थियो 10 हुन्छ भनेको थियो, किन्नु पर्ने 17 पुगेछ के. उता कर्स थुक्का मेरो बुद्धि, right? Drama. So you learn from this story. Now why she was cursing. Now look, why was he happy to move ahead? Elian said, here, I know. Why didn't I, big fool that I am? And he had another reason to curse himself. He sold 5,000 West Park's share at $16.23 per share, and saw to his horror West Park's climbed to $18.90. What is happening here? Do you see? Tae-soon is not able to take wise decisions. Do you see? He is gambling, and Tae-soon is not able to calculate the market. The point to learn is तिमीले टेलिभिजन हेरेछ भने त्यो शेयर मार्केट विज्ञापन आउँछ इन्डियन टिभीमा खास गरी, अनि त्यहाँ के भन्छ लास्टमा भन्दाखेरि पुरा विज्ञापन पछाडि फास्टमा चाहिँ शेयर मार्केट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टु फ्लक्चुएसन्स, प्लिज रिड द डकुमेन्ट्स केयरफुली भन्छ. याद गरिरहेछ पछाडि भन्छ फ्लक्चुएसन share markets are very volatile. They are very volatile. They keep going up and down. They keep going up and down. And those who can correctly calculate and predict the future tendency, they earn money. Those who can't calculate, they lose money. I will never sell now. Now this decision, I will never sell now. This is a decision. I'll stop my story class here with one point to tell you. In tragedy, there is a word called hamartia. And hamartia means a flaw in hero's character. And if we take this tragic story and analyze Tesun the hero, Tesun has one problem. He always takes wrong decisions. He can't take proper decisions. बेच्नुपर्ने बेला चाहिँ नबेची बस्छ नबेच्ने बेला बेच्छ बढ्नेवाला शेयरलाई बेचेर पस्ताउँछ घट्ने शेयरलाई किनेर पस्ताउँछ This is the problem with his character, and it is this hamartia, flaw in his character, which brings the tragedy in the story. It's a very tragic story. कतिजनाले पढ्नु आउनुहुन्छ त कोकले पढिसक्नु भयो लास्टसम्म छैन पढ्नुहुन्न एकजनाले पढ्नु भएको छैन मैले पढ्दिन त मैले किन पढ्ने हैन सबै मै पढिरहेको छु okay and the frenzy continued husband and I'll stop here and I said that now let me before I stop my class the plot was moving like this, right? And at this point the share came, right? It was conflict. Now the plot is going up and up. This is called complication. This is called complication. And soon we will see that the story we will reach point of crisis, where the most important event will happen. So if you find time from a busy schedule, you are very busy people, you have to handle the whole world affair. So if you find time, please read the story. समय मिल्यो भने हजुर व्यस्त हुनुहुन्छ अब दुनिया संसारको हेर्नु छ हैन यत्रो सब संसारको ख्याल गर्नु छ संसारको ख्याल गरेर फुर्सद मिल्यो भने पढ्नु होला धन्यवाद